Okay kids, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to make a bottle opener out of a piece of rebar. Now, obviously, I made this already, but I need to explain something. You're going to see in the video here, I'm going to the lathe. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out an easy way just to do a skim coat with the lathe to remove the coating of the rebar and the paint. I was trying to get away from using a file or sanding it, but what I discovered is that the piece of rebar, which is going to be hard to show, isn't cylindrical or concentric, is what people like to say. It's egg-shaped. So when I was trying to turn it down on the lathe, I was actually removing, let's say, the material over here, and then I wasn't hitting this. So when I was done, it didn't look like rebar anymore. So that's what you're going to see me doing at the lathe. I wanted to do a quick explanation, so on with the video. Let's start this project by cutting the rebar to 6 inches long.
Free bandsaw, you can't beat it.
I slowed down the video so you could see how out around the rebar is. You can see how the tool wasn't hitting all of the raised areas. I'm going to have to use a file and sandpaper. This is going to take a lot more labor than what I wanted. This is definitely going to work. Let's hit it with some sandpaper. Now that I've figured out how to get rid of the paint and the coating from the high spots, let's machine the bird's mouth. Oh, by the way, this piece is garbage. I made it for my good friend a trash can. Who didn't see that coming? I went back to the bandsaw and cut another piece of rebar. I didn't show you guys.
Alright guys, hopefully you can see this. See the scratch mark here? This is a total of 0.3 inches, and so I'm just going to come down here with the end mill and eyeball it. I'm going to go 1.25 inches this way.
I need to machine the rebar flat, then cut the bird's mouth. That's what I'm doing here. Well, I might as well grab it. You know it's hot. I have the rebar set in the fixture plate that I made in the previous video to cut the bird's mouth.
It turned out okay. The angle wasn't sharp enough, so what I had to do, and I didn't film it, is I had to go to the grinder and just knock this back and then bevel this in some. Now the way I test these is as much as I'd love to drink a bottle of beer every time I made one of these, is I have an actual water bottle, and this works pretty good. If I just clip it like that and you see it's starting to move it, and I want this to be as close to the center as possible. This part here I want to be as close to the center as possible, even past, and there we're pretty good. So this one, this would probably take, probably pop it, Pam, and you might have to do it again, but it will work.
Now I'm going to machine the other end for the hole. This is a similar procedure. I'm going to mill it flat and then drill a hole in the end. Alright, this is looking good. I drilled the hole off camera. Now let's put a coat of black paint on it. I let the paint dry overnight. Let's head to the lathe and clean this up. After doing a little bit more experimenting, I found out it was easier just to hand file it without having the part spin. I had more control over the results. Oh, and here's a great shot of my hairy hands, arms, and knuckles. Next, I hit it with some 100 grit sandpaper, and I do spin the part this time. The final process is to clean it up and then clear coat it. This thing turned out really good, but it was a lot of work. Well, there it is. This thing turned out really well. I like how the green coating's coming through. It gives it a good patina look. I like this a lot. I might even like this more than the railroad spike. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And remember, guys, you can get these. They'll be on the website, or send me an email. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.